Big news today involving the BIS, CBDCs, the BRICS bloc coalition, and the petrodollar. The BIS, the Bank for International Settlements, commonly known as the Central Bank for Central Banks, has been working closely with the BRICS bloc coalition, specifically China, to launch a new central bank digital currency CBDC platform. This platform is dubbed Project mBridge. And while it's been in the works for a while, this week there was a new release that caught my attention. Not only because the platform's viable, but because they accepted a fifth full-time member. That member is no one other than Saudi Arabia. Now, the reason why this is so important and so concerning to the US dollar is because Saudi Arabia is, of course, part of OPEC, the oil-producing countries. And Saudi Arabia, in particular, is key to the United States' dominance as having the global reserve currency. What I mean by that is, in 1972, when the United States dollar was delinked from gold, there was an agreement made in the following years that all oil would be priced in USD. Because of this agreement, there is always demand for US dollars because all oil is priced in US dollars. Now, some countries have moved away from this, such as Russia or Iran pricing in different currencies, but ultimately the effect of that has still been minimal. But should a country like Saudi Arabia start pricing their oil in a different currency, say the Chinese yuan, well, now we have a huge problem on our hands, because the United States dollar will not be in as high of demand. Now, we don't know for sure if that's going to happen. There's been a lot of speculation for a while, though, because Saudi Arabia has not been quiet on this topic. They have been saying now for months that they are open to and considering other currencies. In the past, this wasn't even a possibility because there really weren't any other currencies that they could have considered. But now, with the BRICS bloc growing stronger, there are other options and their strength in numbers. So specifically with this Project mBridge, one of the reasons why this feels like they're laying the groundwork here is that mBridge does not support US dollars. So now we're going to have Saudi Arabia be part of this project that specifically is intended to facilitate cross-border payments, but it won't be in US dollars. If Saudi Arabia really does decide to make the move away from the US and does support trading oil and pricing oil in other currencies, that would mean again that there would be much less demand for US dollars. The reason why that is so important is because if the demand for US dollars diminishes, then we lose our biggest asset. The United States government's biggest asset, biggest thing that they export are actually US dollars. With the way that the debt is right now, if we continue to see a decline in demand for US dollars and for US debt, then we are going to continue to see rates increase and rapid inflation, the likes of which we've never seen before. I mean, many people have said that ultimately, if the petrodollar collapses, the United States dollar collapses and therefore the US. Now, I don't want to sound extreme, but I do think that if the day comes when Saudi Arabia really does make this move away, which at this point it feels more like a win than an if, then we're in serious trouble and we could see an actual currency reset be ushered in.